BLVE Live Sports presents The Hot Seat, where the people have a say in how we play pickleball. Sponsored by ELLIS and BADENDAUSEN Orthopedics, dedicated to providing the Louisville community with the highest quality orthopedic care. Hosted by BADENDAUSEN. Today's guest, Alex Horn, General Manager of World Pickleball Tour.
Hello, welcome to The Hot Seat, a show where people have a say in how they play. Today, we're welcoming General Manager of World Pickleball Tour, Alex Horn. He's going to explain to us a little bit about the company and what to expect when a touring season or tournament comes to your neighborhood. So, Alex, tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit about WPT.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure to be speaking with you today, Damien. Meeting you last year in Louisville at the same event. We are the world's largest amateur only pickleball tour. We definitely prioritize the weekend warriors, the 5 to 9ers as I call them. So people that as soon as they clock out from their 9 to 5, they want to play pickleball from 5 to 9. I live in Columbus, Ohio, so not too far from Louisville, Kentucky. Originally from Richmond, Virginia. I went to undergrad at George Mason University, just outside of Washington, D.C. Did a couple years of grad school at the University of Oklahoma. I even worked at UCLA as an intern. I lived in Chicago and worked there. And my wife and our relationship brought me here to Ohio, where we live now. No kids, but we do have a beagle named Griffin, so he's definitely a handful. But I love running the business and interacting with people because everywhere I've been working in recreational sports. So this is a really phenomenal career for me, an opportunity to help grow a new sport across the country.
Great. Thanks for clearing that up, Alex. Now let's go to our community members. I have a few people that have put some time aside to ask a few questions. So let's start with the first one. His name is Willie Williams. Go ahead, Willie, ask your question.
So I do have a question. You've been hosting tournaments throughout the U.S. for over a year now. What have you learned about hosting pickleball tournaments along the way?
Yeah, that's a phenomenal question. I think the number one thing, no matter where we've been, whether it's a pickleball hotbed in terms of a place where the sport has really taken off or been preeminent recreational activity for many years before it's really kind of caught fire here the past couple. No matter where we've been, valuing players' time is the most important thing that we as a business prioritize or try to focus on, or that we can do day in and day out at these tournaments. You know, it's not, I tell this to players all the time, it's not the money that you spend or, with our business, or, the medal that you win, or, what we give you or anything like that. It's truly just about time. Life is crazy. People have so many things going on. So me just getting to travel across the country and meet different people and spend time with them and learn about who they are and why they love the sport, but also just, where they come from, who they are, is really, an experience that for me is really valuable. And I know our team values that as well, because you would have had no other reason to meet these folks. So being able to bring people together and the fact that they choose to spend their weekends with us on these Friday, Saturday, or Sunday events, because some people are crazy about pickleball. They're there sun up to sundown each day that we're in market. That's one thing that we really value, and I've learned that just that time that people spend with you, giving them some value, giving them the most opportunity to compete and play and grow in their local pickleball community, make friends, pick up new doubles teammates, whatever it might be, is probably the number one thing that we've learned is really highlighting the importance of their time spent with us and what do we give them, across the weekend in each event that they play to make it valuable for them. Yeah, I think the other thing that really sticks out to me in terms of, what I've learned specifically is just how passionate people are about this sport. It's not something to me that was very native, despite being an athlete across the board: swimming, baseball, basketball, hockey, even football, you name it. I played everything growing up. Not really a racket sports guy, but understanding the nuance of the sport and its roots and how it's grown and how it's continuing to kind of take shape across the United States. And you see all the different, names and things like that are getting involved with the sport, but just the recreational player who I see the most, just being out there at 7 a.m. right when registration starts and there until the day's over, and then back again the next day and back again the next day. These people love this sport, the players, that is. So it really is interesting to see. It's not just, to me, it doesn't seem like it's just something cool for now. I mean, people really love pickleball. So it's been cool to be a part of helping it grow.
Great question. Let's move on to the second question. Bruan, go ahead and ask your question.
What are you going to do differently from last year's tournament?
Yeah, I think there's a huge contrast between last year and this year in terms of player experience. I think last year we were just getting started and feeling out the recreational tournament atmosphere, if you will, but we've really tried to impress, as I alluded to, the valuing of that time, that valuation, I should say, of a player's time. So when they show up and they're playing, we want to give them more than just 1 or 2 matches or 3 matches. In most cases, players at our tournaments are getting up to 7 matches this year. We're doing round robin formats across all skill and age levels. We're really trying to pump up our numbers so that players can get, and this just happened in Savannah a few weeks ago, 9 or 10 matches. So in terms of the structure of those matches, they're typically 1 to 15, win by 2, or 1 to 11. But the points that you get to play are much higher in terms of almost your dollar for dollar value than a double elimination format. So also keeping players on pods of courts. So what we try to do is keep the entire skill and age on, let's say 1, 2, 3, and 4. They don't have to move from that spot for the next 3 to 4 hours. They just play pickleball. So it's efficient. It doesn't shoot their entire day away by waiting to play, or even if you're winning in double elimination brackets, sometimes you spend all day there. Not to say some people don't love that, but again, going back to that root focus of people's time and valuing that and showing them that, hey, you're going to come here, you're going to play so much, you might ask us to slow down, which is a big difference from last year because of how much players are really getting out of their experience. I think that's the biggest difference that we have. I think we also want to, make sure that players feel like they get a little bit more higher end, prizes or opportunities as a result of, competing in our tournament. So, we're going to touch a little bit about Daytona and the Invitational Championships later on, but just the quality of our medals, really improving those. They're nice, heavy, shiny, branded, not just something that they feel like they can get at every other tournament. Incorporating you guys, Damien, and player interviews and footage and live streaming so that they can show their friends and family who aren't there in person. Bringing out food trucks, giving things away to players in their swag bags, that are actually useful to them, or hydration packs, things like that, so they can stay hydrated throughout the day. Just small touches that we really tried to sprinkle into the experience, but go a long way for the players.
Great question. Always got a lot of energy. Now let's move on to Bradley. All right, Bradley, tell us what you have in mind.
What do you remember about your last time hosting a tournament in Louisville?
Yeah, just instantly thinking back to how friendly everyone was last year in Louisville at EP Tom Sawyer. I just remember specifically a couple people who came up and said hey to me. They were at our Knoxville tournament and they were at our Charlotte tournament, and just really impressing upon me how much they appreciate what we're trying to do for the sport in such a gracious way. And I was like, guys, this is my job. This is what I do. Of course, I'm happy to be here, but it just kind of that really a sense of community that was really prevalent across that whole weekend. And another thing about our tournament last year that I remember pretty vividly was just the quality of play and the talent of a lot of the players there. We had one match, gold medal match, that I think lasted 110 minutes. I remember counting, at a certain point, because I was like, this has been going on forever. I mean, these people are absolute warriors down in Louisville. They're coming from all over the Midwest to EP Tom Sawyer. You're getting some of the best pickleball players recreationally in the Midwest. Even if they are a 3-0, 3-5, even a 4-0 player, they're giving it their all. And they're definitely showing out for their friends and family and competing for that medal. So, it wouldn't surprise me to see some of these folks join the Senior Pro Tour, or if they're younger, try to get involved with professional pickleball at some of these other big tournament events across the country. So knowing that we're providing them that stage to kind of take the next step is really exciting. So I'm looking forward to, more phenomenal athletes and talented pickleball players here in about a month down in Louisville.
Perfect. I'll save the best for last because there's this one special event that's coming up, and I'm gonna let Nina ask the question about it.
Hi, can you tell us a little bit about the Daytona Beach Pickleball Tournament Championship?
So as a pickleball tour, knowing that, hey, recreationally, we want people to have a lot of value, right? We want them to get a lot of player experience that is focused on, again, their time and not overspending or overpaying for a day or two of playing pickleball in a tournament setting. But on the other side of the coin, you have that competitive drive that brings folks out and they want something to play for even beyond the gold medal. So as an organization, last year we paid out $5,000 at our tournaments, each and every tournament. So this year I kind of pulled that money out from each event because it was cool, but I think players definitely appreciate the idea of playing on a bigger stage against different people from across the country. So we injected that cash value of 35 tournaments this year, which we currently have booked, and we're even looking to grow more in the back half of the year. That cash value of $175,000 into one event. So Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, January 11th through the 15th, so Thursday through Monday of 2024, World Pickleball Tour will be hosting its first amateur invitational championships. Phenomenal facility, 40 plus courts, great staff, great food. It's a true pickleball paradise. And they have a great championship court set up, tons of parking, anything that you could ask for, they have there. And it is for pickleball players of all skill levels. So in terms of qualifying, anyone who wins a gold medal at any of our events automatically earns the right to sign up and register for the 2024 championship event. But it doesn't stop there. If you're a silver medalist, you'll also have an opportunity to register if the gold medalists leave you some room. Same goes for the bronze, right? With all those courts and what we'll be able to schedule and fill out, there's going to be a lot of tiered opportunities for even silver and bronze medalists to go to this event and play people from all across the country. Because Damien, as of today, we're in 24 different states. So that's almost half of the United States that we'll pull from, and we'll draw people down to, for one of the biggest and best recreational amateur, highlights in terms of a pickleball tournament, that's out there. And we hope to really impress on folks that opportunity. So this is a great way to do that. But just throughout the year, we're really letting people know that there's a lot of opportunity for them to play at the highest level possible. And even folks who don't medal, they'll get entered into a lottery. So if there's still room, there's a fighter's chance that you could get invited or have the opportunity to sign up. So we're trying to be inclusive. We're trying to get a lot of value out there for players at each tournament, but also give them something big to play for. So we're really looking forward to that and being able to say that we threw kind of the biggest amateur prize tournament there is to date. So.
Perfect. So I hope everybody has got a good understanding of what World Pickleball Tour is, and just the excitement around the sport and around this amateur league program, tournament that travels around the United States. So if you're interested, please feel free to sign up, find out what's on their calendar, and if you can be there, then all the fun to you. Take care.